a custody case that have a number of them that sort of haunt me. One of them I tried for a father, and he got sole custody. And the mother, more or less, she had diabetes. But in a nutshell, she was so upset with that result. That was a result of a jury trial. I think she was the only one in the courtroom that didn't think there was any chance that that could ever happen to her, but it did. She died within 2.5, 3 years of that case, basically from complications that stress and sort of emotional trauma and bitterness resulting from that trial put on her medical condition. There was, tried another custody case for a father early in my career where the mother was pregnant with another man's baby at the time of the trial. We had offered to move that trial or postpone it, and the other lawyer wanted to go ahead. My client got custody of the child they were fighting over, and then within a few weeks of the jury trial, she gave birth to a stillborn child. And I don't know that the custody case caused that, but it certainly could not have helped. I have two cases where I represented mothers where they won custody, and one of them, within less than a year, the father was murdered. The other one represented, as a matter of fact, the first custody case they ever tried. The father was killed in a motorcycle accident, 4 or 5 years after the trial. And that's a lot of dying in just a few cases. I have a horrid case where I was not the lead counsel, but I was involved in a temporary hearing where we represented the father, and he got joint custody and expanded time with his 2-year-old son. And that man ended up killing himself and his son shortly after that litigation was concluded. And there's a few others. And so my experience of custody litigation when people talk about war stories, lawyers get together and they tell war stories, and a lot of times they're just funny as hell. But when people talk to me about, tell me some of your war stories, the thing that comes to mind is the people that have, no kidding, lost their lives in or around this stuff. I've had clients that have committed suicide, been on the other side of the case where the other party has committed suicide. And again, I don't know that the divorce or the litigation caused that stuff, but in my mind, it couldn't. There's no way it could have helped. So on the children's side of this, there's just sort of this haunting, good grief, there has to be a better way to get at this. There just has to be. Now, I still go to court. I'm still a trial lawyer. I hadn't quit the trial lawyering yet. But for me, I feel like an old soldier. I'll show up on the battlefield, but I'm going to do everything I can do to figure out how to avoid ending up there, because there are so many better ways to address these things. And of course, when collaborative came along, it's going, oh my gosh, yes, this is what we need to be doing. Because with the neutral mental health person in there, the child specialist, all these tools to say, yes, we disagree, yes, we've got problems, yes, we're mad at each other, yes, we've got alcohol issues, yes, we've got boyfriends and girlfriends and all that stuff. But let's not make it worse. Let's take this mess that we have and figure a way through it as best as we can. And it's not always beautiful, but at least everybody's trying, and the process is trying to be helpful. So that part of it on the children's issues is sort of my come around on the collaborative. I'm interested in collaborative and advise collaborative in most, not all, but most custody child disputes, because it's solution oriented, and it's solution oriented in a way that is kid friendly, family friendly, user friendly. It's not a destructive process. When you're in front of a jury, it's a white hat, black hat world. And you need to be wearing the white hat, and the other guy needs to be wearing the black hat. That's just the way that works. And that's one way to solve, or I don't think solve a problem, but get a result. But the aftermath of that is just not good. It lasts for years and years. All the stuff: graduations, weddings, funerals. So that's that on the kid side. Over here on the money side, I'm still competitive, and for me, on the money side or the financial side of things, it's about results for my clients. And clients have lots of different goals. Some of them want all the money that they can get. Some of them want it over with quickly. Some of them want to stay out of the public eye. Some of them are trying to save businesses or employees from losing their jobs or losing their business. Some of them are trying to build estates or make sure estates are intact for children of the marriage or other children or foundations or whatever it is. And most of my financial oriented cases, where those are the primary issues, I just get better results for my clients in the collaborative process. And so do the other folks, They're only in that environment is there at least the theoretical possibility of a win-win. Something good for him, something good for her, a true win-win. There's at least that. It doesn't always come out that way, but there's at least that possibility. Never have I been to court where both parties are made better by going to court in the litigation. It's either at its optimal. This is the best possible trying these business and financial cases at the courthouse. The best possible is a win-lose. And hopefully you got the win, all right? But still, it's a win at what cost? If you won the financial thing, but you lose your business because your reputation is destroyed, or your competitor finds out about that big deal that was out there and they swipe it from you, or you're so cash drained from the divorce that you can't make payroll, or whatever it is. Many of these wins are not wins at all. So the best you can do at the courthouse is win-lose, and the win is very questionable sometimes. More common is lose-lose. And the first casualty in the property fights is liquidity, cash. That goes to folks like me and the professionals and the accountants and the experts and the court reporter, all that kind of stuff. And so that's the first casualty over there in that battle is cash. And for most people, that's the thing they need the most. So it's hard to win in an environment where the thing you want the most is being consumed. So my motivation on my moneyed clients or my property things is just better results.